Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia on the Lawrencia TV, a channel that celebrates ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So please subscribe, like, share, and also click on the notification bell to get notified anytime I post new content. So for today's episode, I don't want to talk about Will Smith slap. I mean, those are rich guys' problems. So let us talk about our own problems, right? I want to ask the question, are you currently dating somebody, or did you marry somebody based on the potential you saw in them, or did you marry them, or are you dating them based on the reality that you saw or you are seeing? So this conversation has been going on social media because a lot of women has come out and they complained about trying to change their man. They say that this man is not changing. They've tried everything. They've prayed, they've fasted. So a lot of cries has been going on, and the men on the other hand are saying that this is not the woman I married, or this is not my wife. And there was a saying that said that men marry women, or men date women hoping that they will not change, but women date or marry men hoping that they would change. I mean, it is a vicious cycle. And do these people get what they want? The answer most time is no. Women change. Women obviously change in relationships, and men, they don't change. What you see is what you get. Some people argue that men don't change. What you get in a relationship, or what you see during a relationship, you should, if you're accepting that, ensure that in the next 10-20 years you'll be happy to remain with that person just the way they are. If you know that you cannot handle that, man, whether man or woman, you should do the needful, leave that person, and then get somebody with all the potential that you need, instead of trying to mold or change somebody into what they are currently not, or they don't even aspire to become. Some other people said that, listen, people change, people outgrow certain things. There are some people you meet in their 20s and they kind of, behave childishly, and they don't have it together. They don't understand what they want to do. But in their 30s, they should have, kind of understand where their life is going, and kind of narrow down to maybe one career path or one job path or something, just to have a stable life. But if somebody that is in their 20s misbehaving and get to their 30s and they're still doing that, then the other partner has every right to complain about them not changing their ways. And then some group of women argue that the main issue is that men sometimes sell themselves way higher than even the potential that they are trying to portray. Somebody will come and tell you they want to build castle in the air and they want to do this, do that. But that is just, they're just projecting somebody else's dream, maybe things that they've heard, or things that, they know that deep down inside of them, they don't even want to do. They're just saying those things because they think this is what the woman wants to hear. Especially, introduction. When somebody introduces you to somebody, that person that is doing the introduction already knows maybe the man or the woman's type, or what they want in a man. So they basically go to this other person to tell them, this lady, she don't take bullshit, she don't do this, she don't do that, she wants somebody that is stable financially, wants this. So they actually list all those things to that person. So the person in turn embodies all those things to come and talk to you. And they sell themselves so high just to get you to date them or to marry them. And then when you get into those relationship or marriage, you realize that these people, they sold themselves way higher than what they could actually be. So some women are complaining about that. So they say that sometimes it's not even about introduction. You can meet a man and you he's saying all these sweet things, all these things that you want to hear, and although you know that these are red flags, some women kind of disable whatever red flag that is coming on to them, and they go ahead with those relationships just because most times they want to be in a relationship, or maybe age is no longer on their side, or they are pressured to be in a relationship or get married. So even with the red flags, they go ahead into those relationships, and at the end of the day, they are praying for their husband to change, or they are trying to get them to take courses, they are trying to get them to improve, learn skills, and it's all falling on deaf ears. So these are some of the women's complaints. They said men should try and improve themselves, especially men in diaspora. Especially men in diaspora. I ran into an old-time friend. I don't even know how we lost contact, but we kind of lost contact. Then she was dating this guy. He, was doing all this, jobs, and he was making income, and she was a student. We're all students at that point in time, trying to work and make ends meet. So her boyfriend at that time was taking us out. He was really generous, and he was really calm. From what I could see, they were good together. And then she told me that she wants to marry him, and she was still a student at that time. So I was like, why do you want to get married? Why don't you finish school and then get a job and then get married? And she said, no, his business is doing fine. He is, taking care of her. He has promised her that he would allow her to finish her studies before, childbirth or anything like that. So they just want to get things done, live together to also save cost. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But at that time, he was not working. He was doing business, and it kind of concerned me, because I said, if you're doing a business, I need to see inventory. Like you're actually selling things, because people have maxed business with so many things, so many dubious activities, and just come out to tell you, I'm into business, import and export. What are you importing? What are you exporting? They can't explain. So I had my reservations then. I said, listen, you're young, you're still a student, there is no rush. Why don't you just wait, finish your studies, get a job? I know the love is shacking you, but wait, a couple of months just to finish, and then get to know this person before the marriage. When you cannot advise somebody that is in love, like literally, everything was falling on deaf ears. She got married to this guy. They moved in together. The business that the guy was doing was no longer, producing anything. She was basically paying all the bills, and he was not even trying to help in any way. They had a couple of kids. Things just went from bad to worse, and he couldn't even care less. This is somebody that, when he was dating her, he was basically flashing a whole lot of cash. He sold himself so high. He made it look as if, he has this scalable business that in the next 5 years he will literally be importing and exporting oil. The way he sold himself, I was sold. Like, I thought he is the real deal. As we all know, there are so many hush puppies out there, and it's not even about, not a lot of people get to that level of hush puppy. So some people maybe do 1 or 2 deals and it works, and maybe within that time is when they meet that person and they spend lavishly, and maybe that was their peak, and after that they can't even get anything like that. So what do you do? So I tried to talk to her. I didn't want to make it look as if, okay, I am going back to the initial conversation we had. I said, have you tried to get him to maybe get a job. And he said, well, he sees job working in the UK or working in diaspora as suffering, because basically you have to wake up in the morning, go to work, whether winter, whether whatever weather that you're in, you have to go to work, and then you have to deal with, teammates and work colleagues. And he is saying that he has never worked in his life, and that is not what he wants to do. But there is no money. Money is not coming anywhere. And she is the one bearing all the responsibilities of the house. And she is complaining. So I just looked at her, and she was telling me she's tired of the whole relationship. She's not ready to move on with him. It was such a sad situation because they have kids, and I couldn't even say anything. She has given him ultimatum to get a job. If not, she's going to leave the house with the children, and he is threatening to go back to Nigeria, start up a business and live there. So one thing I've learned is that regardless of how attractive somebody's potential is, please date the reality. If your type is to marry somebody that is career driven, don't go and get married to somebody that is not, and then you're trying to make them to go to school, take courses, and then become build a career path that you have chosen for yourself. I can tell you a lot of people that I know of that were in a relationship. They feel that the IT sector is very lucrative. They feel that the IT sector is very lucrative, so they get married to somebody that is not even in IT, and they're telling them that, oh, A, B, and C is in IT. It's not difficult. You can do it. So they give them ultimatum, basically. If you don't go and take maybe course A and B to become either a project manager, business analyst, or all those kind of things, they start giving ultimatums because they think that, oh, this person is earning this, so you have to do that. But who you married was not in the IT field, and maybe that has never been an option for them. So marry people's reality or date people's reality, or face the consequences. Always be happy with the minimum that you have. If you cannot be with that minimum for the next 10 years, then why get married to that person? Because it just looks like, that is not enough. You want more. And if you're with somebody and they're selling themselves way too high, you're getting those red flags and you're ignoring them. And then you think that in the next, couple of years, you're going to pray, fast, get family meetings together to try to change that person. You're just going to be miserable. I mean, life is too short to try to change water to wine. Life is too short to give people ultimatum. If you cannot handle it, vamos. Look for somebody that has the minimum things that you want. Life is all about growing. Life is all about improving. There are some people who naturally want to improve on a daily basis. Some people are very comfortable with the way they are. Even in the next 10 years, they are happy with the way they are. So thank you very much for watching today's topic. We're basically talking about, are you dating somebody, or did you marry somebody based on their potential, or did you date or marry somebody based on the reality? And the reality of it is that change is constant in life. People change, but how far are you ready to push those changes? If somebody is not willing to change, what do you do about it? Do you ignore it? Do you just scale through life or coast through life and forget about any other thing that is happening around you? So it's all about making choices. It's all about being happy with the choices that we have made. If you know you will not be happy with that choice, my dear, don't make the choice, whether man or woman. Be very intentional about the choices that you make to save yourself truckload of tears along the way. So thank you very much for watching today's episode, and see you same time next week. Bye bye.